Hello there, it's Elizabeth again. I am going to try to get through these flip throughs so that I can be more current on. We left off before on flip through 3. This is flip through 4. We left off on February 15th, and I'm going to try to get through these so that, like I said, I could be a little bit more current. So this day was Journal It Sunday, and I can't remember what it was about, but obviously it was about music. So it might have been like what song is going through your head or something like that. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. But a lot of times when I do my Fibonacci pages, I sit and listen to Pandora. And a lot of the times it's on the cello station because I just love to listen to the cello. So I didn't have a song running through my mind. A lot of times I do, but not this day apparently. And then I thought this was cute. I found this online. I don't just sing in the shower, I perform, which I really don't because God knows I would slip and fall and it could get really ugly. So I don't do that. But anyway, I do love singing and I love listening to music, especially the cello. So the next day was here, and I didn't really have a lot to do or say. It was just, the stuff I needed to do, the stuff I wanted to do, and then the stuff that I actually did. So those are kind of, different lists. And then this day here it was Tangle Tuesday. And this right here, I don't know what it's called. I can't think of the name of it. God knows half the time I don't remember my own name. So, but I remember, excuse me, when I was younger, my kids, or not my kids, I remember when I was younger, and we'd say to my mom, we're bored or whatever, and she would take a black marker and take a white piece of paper, and she would draw these designs all over the paper and then give us a box of crayons and say, go color in all the shapes. And so it just reminded me of her. My mom passed away in 2012, and it was a lovely memory to have of her, that we used to do these all the time. And even when my children were little and they would come to me and say, I'm bored, Mom, I don't have anything to do, I would draw these things for them and give them a box of crayons and say, color in all the shapes. So that was just a lovely memory of my ma. She's missed daily. And then I don't know, I turned this upside down and I can't remember what this was about. Let me see here. Let me see. I've got my glasses on. So, I wrote about this because while I am known to complain quite a lot about everything, I'm really missing my kids on Tuesdays and Thursdays because they have classes through a lot of the days at the local college. And so now that my daughter is driving, they're like gone, and I'm here by myself with the dogs, and it's like, what do I do with myself? So anyway, that was that part of that day, missing my kids. Oh God, I need a life. Anyway, then this day I had gotten in my goodies that I had ordered from Amazon, along with my Inktense and different things. I had bought Jane Davenport's book, Beautiful Faces. And this was the first face that I drew. Well, this was like the first kind of face that I drew. And then I drew this one, which she looks kind of like, I don't know, angry or something. And I don't know. Somebody that looked at this said that she looked sad and forlorn. I'm not really sure. I don't know. But it was the first face I ever drew aside from this kind of face, more like abstract kind of face. But anyway, that was my kind of second face, I guess, I drew. And then this day, I spent most of the day grading creative writing papers as usual, and it's a lot of work. But anyway, it's enjoyable, and I can't wait. Maybe in another video, I will show you the actual book, the autobiography that we completed at the end of the semester with the kids. So it was fun. The creative writing samples I was trying to put together. One was a memorable event, and I wrote about Beauty Queen's graduation. It had to be an event that happened recently that you went to, like that you could have tickets to or something like that. And so I wrote about my daughter's high school graduation, and excuse me. And then we had to write something about always say never, like always say never again to something. So my list was Mark Twain, which I'm sorry, I don't care for his writing. I like Huckleberry Finn was the hardest book to get through. I really don't even think I got through it. But anyway, I wrote about muscles and an experience I had in Washington, D.C., where I like literally had to spit the muscle out into a cloth napkin. It was horrific. It scarred my children for life, but it was hilarious. And we talk about it still to this day. And cabbage palms, I spoke about. Always say never to chopping cabbage palms, because they are condominiums for wasps, apparently. And when you take a machete to the branches that have the nests on them, you tend to get stung multiple times. Thank goodness I'm not allergic to bee stings that I know of, or wasp stings, because, I wouldn't be here right now. Anyway, and then there was another one, Are You Hungry? And so the kids were supposed to write about what their favorite meal was, or a traditional meal, or whatever. And so we did that, and I wrote about tacos because I love tacos. And then this is acrylic paint that I did on here, and I can't remember what it was that we were supposed to do. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like shadowing circles, or I can't remember what, but this is what I did because I love these colors, the pink and teals and blues, and I just love those. So that was that day. And then again with the creative writing, it's my life story until the end of March, so deal with it. The assignments for this week were the Examine Life, the annual report, and Who Am I? So those were interesting. We only had 5 weeks to go, and at this point in time, I'm like counting down the weeks. I love teaching, love it bunches. It's a lot of work, and it totally consumes my life for 12 weeks. So I started counting down the weeks to go there. And then this here is a picture of, this is with the pretty nails. That's my daughter, because I don't have pretty nails, as you can see. But she and I went to the tattoo parlor, and we had promised her that when she turned 18, she could get a tattoo. So I drew out a tattoo that I had found on Pinterest. We took it to our artist, and we got tattoos. And there is mine, if you can see it correctly. There you go. And she has the exact same one on her right wrist as well. And so yeah, we like tattoos. My husband is tattooed. Almost his entire back is tattooed, and I just love it to pieces. I happen to like tattoos. Some people do, some people don't. It's just a preference. We happen to like them. She wanted one. We told her she had to be 18. She turned 18. We had to fulfill our promise. So she and I went and got one, and it was great. I love sharing that bit of our lives with each other. And then this day, my son was turning, in a few days, he was turning, 17. So he's the birthday boy. We went down to the Keys. He and a friend were there, and we went out and had, I should probably, oh well, you probably can't see that anyway, no big deal. But we went to Skipper's Dockside, which was a new restaurant, pretty good. And this is something my daughter wrote on her Facebook page, and I just thought it was so sweet. I have like the sweetest kids. I don't know what happened, but seriously, they're like the best kids. And she wrote for her brothers. This is the two of them when they were younger, and she was a lot taller. She's very tall. She's 5'9" or more. I don't even know now. She's taller than me. But my son now, who's 17, is like almost 6'4", maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway, he's tall. And anyhow, my daughter wrote on her Facebook page, the greatest gift our parents ever gave us was each other. Happy 17th birthday to my not so little brother. I'm blessed to call you one of my closest friends as well as my brother. You make me proud, Bubba. And so that was just so sweet. We took some pictures at the restaurant, and then I have like a tendency of stealing or lifting, or however you want to call it, coasters from restaurants that we go to. It became a big joke in my creative writing class that I am a thief of coasters. So we had a lovely time at celebrating his birthday down in the Keys. And then this day, I must obviously have been very tired. So I slept for a very long time. I have insomnia a lot, and so it's hard for me to get to sleep and stay asleep. And with my illness, it causes me physical pain, and so it's hard to sleep. But this day, I took a nap, or no, not a nap, obviously not a nap for 16 hours. That would be ridiculous. But I must have gone to bed early and slept a really long time. And then this day was obviously a couch day. So that means that Big Handsome was not feeling well at all. He's had such a time of it. And I wish we could find out what the problem was back on this date. But I did get the laundry done, so that was good, including the whites. So that was good. And we were watching Crossing Lines on Netflix, and so we just pretty much hung around the living room that day. And then this day was my son's birthday, and he collects guns, like real guns, rifles mostly. And so he got his birthday present, and he also collects antique guns, so he has various rifles. Antique rifles. He especially likes rifles from World War II. He's a history buff. He loves all that stuff. And for his birthday dinner, his request was what I named a heart attack casserole. It's made from crescent rolls and Italian sausage and shredded potatoes and cheese and mayonnaise and sour cream and spices, and it's braided. It's all gets shoved into, like, the mixture gets shoved into this like bread roll, and then you braid the crescent rolls on the outside. It is so not healthy, but it is so good. I don't make it very often, so that's what he wanted for his birthday, and that's what he got. And then it was Tangle Tuesday, so I made a little tangle there. And then this day here was obviously I hate cleaning. So I was vacuuming my back porch. Like, seriously, I wrote up here, who vacuums their back porch? Like, really? But we live out in the country on dirt roads and stuff, and so the back patio gets horrible, dusty, dirty, and so I really needed to vacuum it because I was having a friend come over for coffee, and I just didn't want her to think that we live in a pigsty. So that was that day. And then this day, my girlfriend came over. We've been friends for years. She used to homeschool her kids, and now her kids are, oh my heavens to Betsy, they're getting married. One of them's in college. One of them's getting married soon. The other two are already married. She's a grandma, all that. And so I just wrote in the little swirls of, steam from the coffee that, it was funny too, because she's loving her empty nest. I'm totally hating it. We're all busy, and, we can't believe our kids are grown, and, she had gone on a cruise, so it was great. She shared with me her experience on the cruise, and her grandbaby is great. And, so it had been such a long time since we'd seen each other, and we talked about how getting old sucks, and, aches and pains and this and that or whatever. And, so it was nice. It was wonderful to see her and spend some time with her and have coffee. And we always just, she's here for hours, and we just have a good time together. And then this day, we had gone to Chipotle, which I don't really eat. I mean, I've had their burritos and I love them. They're awesome, but I'm rarely hungry. So the kids love them and it's such a treat. So we were up in that area, and I thought I'd take them to get a burrito. But what I really love about it is they do this thing called the Cultivating Thought Author series. And so they have these different stories that are really nice. And I love reading, and I love, when people share their writing. So I took it off the bag and stuck it in here. And then this is the end. The end. You heard me. The end of my first Fobonichi. I completed it. And on this day, it was a Saturday, we were staying home. We didn't go down to the Keys. And so we took the family out to breakfast at a Cuban restaurant called Sergio's here. And they have yummy fried yuca. Oh, I love it. So good. It's kind of like a potato, and it's just delicious. And we had a Cuban eggs Benedict, which really weren't like eggs Benedict. I don't know what happened to the cook back there, but he didn't know the difference between hard-boiled eggs and poached eggs, apparently. But anyway, it was delicious anyhow. And they have this awesome cilantro sauce that is so yummy. I could bathe in it, or at least drink it. I don't know. Or bathe in it and then drink it. I don't know. But I love it. And my son always gets the Cuban croqueta sandwich because he loves that. And yuca frita. That's fried yuca, and there's like French fries almost, but they're so much better than potatoes. It's hard to explain. And then my husband had chorizo sliders, which were yummy. And then this is the end of my book. And so I put some more painted papers on it and put a little quote. And that was the end of my very first Fobonichi. And I was so glad that I had done this. I was so glad, this is the back of it, where I had put more painted papers and a quote that was meaningful to me. And I was so glad that I had done it. This is literally the first thing I have ever been consistent at, aside from, being a mom and a wife. But as far as arty things go, or journaling things go, this is the first time I've ever actually started a book and completed it. So I was very proud of myself for doing that. And I just love it. I love going back through it and seeing how I've changed from, like when you look at the beginning of the book, when I first started, it looks like this, plain, not very colorful, a few things. And then you get to the back and there are just so many different, I started painting in it. I started drawing more. I started just adding, different things. And so it was so fun. And I love doing it. And if you haven't checked out the group Fobonichi Journalers on YouTube, you really need to check it out because it's an awesome, awesome group of wonderful people, talented, supportive, encouraging. I encourage you to go over there and check it out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next flip.